Welcome to one of the first of our podcasts. Here's your daily news, and we're just going to have a wee blather.
Listen, thanks for having us. I want to say honour to be the first to come on the brand new podcast, so thanks for having us.
How many years have I known you now?
Oh,
so,
too many.
It's double figures anyway, for sure, isn't it?
One of them was asking my age earlier on, because it was in January, and I was like, I'm not telling you.
He did tell us, but we'll not tell you.
Yeah, it's a secret.
I think it's because I get on all right with your dad, isn't it?
100%.
We have something in common, age.
Yes, and for the Glasgow background, the ruffians, you know. That's
Right, so I haven't actually seen you since Christmas.
No, it's been a while before that.
We did a few things there.
Aye, we had a bit of a break over Christmas, so we always try and take a week. That's always the 23rd to round about the 29th, 20th. Like
before 30th. You start the new year again.
Aye, that's always the break. But that's if we don't take that, we seem to just keep rolling all year. Yeah. So that's our kind of.
But it was great. It was good to get the reset because I think we needed it. It was. It's been. Again, it's been crazy for the last 20 years. It's been absolutely mental.
It's never stopped, has it? It's been a roller coaster.
So good.
I've got it in my diary. I'm taking a holiday this year. Taking my wife away for 1 week. That's what we've got.
I always remember talking to you like that because you were always doing the cruises. I mean, that's it. You're the cruise boys, you know. But and you were saying, I would love to do a wee bit more back home, settle down a wee bit, do a wee bit more entertainment, and you've done it.
Well, the thing is, we've got to give credit to Ed Holloway, another Ayrshire-based guy, at EHP Theatre. It all started with this Ayrshire Lads gig that he put on a few years ago, and we'd never really thought about. We had thought about it, let's be honest, about the theatre side of things, but theatre's hard work. I mean, you've got to sell tickets, you've got to put a show together. The cruise ships are easy. You don't have to sell tickets. You go, you get your money, you come back home, you're relaxing. So I do have to give credit to Ed for that, because that kind of planted the seed a little bit. You know, that way you can actually go into the Gatey Theatre, get an audience to come and see you, and end up selling 3 nights for the Ayrshire Lads, and just great production, you know, that way. And then after that, he asked us, do you want to do a MacDonald Brothers kind of version? We'll do the rest of Scotland, we'll tour Scotland, and that's kind of where it's started from, isn't it? So
100%. But the main thing that even happened from the Ayrshire Lads was, you know, at the time it's another gig. See, at that point it's like, well, you could be doing a wedding, you could be doing a cruise ship, a corporate, it's just another gig. But what we felt after we did it, there was something special about it, but we enjoyed it. That was the main thing. It was we hadn't done that sort of like theatre environment for, oh my goodness, maybe over 10, 12 years.
It's a decade.
But once we did it, it felt good. And that's kind of the main thing now. It's obviously we've been doing this a long time, but you do get to that stage, you think, if you're not enjoying something, or why are you doing it, kind of thing. And that kind of opened the door again. And then when Ed said, listen, do you want us to do, as Craig said, this Scottish tour, put something together, I was sceptical again, because it's that you're putting yourself out there into the public eye again, and you're opening yourself for, like, people talk about, like, you could be like failure or different things, but I've always got this thing in my head, if a venue doesn't sell out, it could be 10 tickets off of that, you feel as if you've failed because it's not sold out. But
you get that.
But as you get older, you feel as if it doesn't really matter. It's like you're putting on a show, and if people want to come and see the show and then enjoy the show, they're not really bothered if there's 10 empty seats or 100 empty seats behind them. It's like, did they enjoy the show? You're putting on a good show, and are we enjoying it? That's the thing. So I think we've kind of found that
I was settled a bit more
balance,
on that,
and this is the kind of second year now that we're getting into it. So I'm actually excited about this one rather than being nervous about it. So it's good. Good fun.
I was very excited about it when you'd sort of opened up to me and said, you know, we'd really like to settle back more in Scotland rather than the cruise ships. And then all of a sudden it was as if the heavens were listening to you, and it all happened.
It did again. Got to give credit, as I said, to EHP, because we always did gigs in Scotland, but there was never like a plan to expand it. And then when we started talking about it, I think our situation changed as far we don't want to be away from home as much anymore. So that kind of opened the door, as you say, for that opportunity to happen, really. So it's been good.
It opened the door to let me see you rehearsing, because I can remember
true.
You know,
I remember that.
Just suddenly walking in, you're like, oh, here's Big Will.
I know, better sing a tune now. You know what I mean?
I'm here.
It was funny. I do remember that day. That was at the Abbotsford, wasn't it? But again, we're still getting rehearsal. We start rehearsals again
Monday,
Tuesday next week, and that's us starting the tour basically. So we've got that kind of we rehearse ourselves. Like we've got our side of things, but there's the dancers to come in, there's the production side of it, the lighting, the sound, all that. So we start that next week, and then it's just on the road.
The final tweaks you do before you actually do it, and then so you're not under pressure.
Dancers are amazing.
I
mean, you see the choreography all going together. It's absolutely amazing.
Just adds another element, doesn't it? It's something we've never done before. We've never worked with dancers. It was always been just the two of us on stage, and that's kind of where, again, we opened our kind of, what's the word, you kind of like let things happen that we would not necessarily do ourselves, and we we actually can't do without them now.
No, it's become a big part of your show.
Definitely, it's the visual side of it as well, for sure.
It's been great. No, I'm really enjoying it. But tell me something, you guys, Christmas, you managed to spend it here.
Yeah.
How does it work with your family life?
So, like, I've got a 4-year-old daughter, so that's the main reason for the change, isn't it? We had a plan in our 20s, and we were in our 20s, we thought, you know what, take everything and anything, work as much as we can. We would do 9 months overseas a lot of the time, so we'd be just jumping from different ship to ship. We've done some gigs in Australia, America, different places.
Home for a couple of days,
home
fly
for 2
out,
days, back again. So you were always on the road, and that was fine. Your 20s, that's great, but I think, like, I just turned 40 this year, and how that time goes by so quickly is amazing. And I've obviously got a 4-year-old daughter now, and I think that everyone says to you, don't miss them growing up. That's always the thing, and that's kind of stuck with my head quite a lot. So we kind of came to an agreement. We're trying to cut it to 1 cruise a month. That's the plan, 1 week a month,
which hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet. But
next year it's got to happen, because I think we're ready. We're
now doing the tours. So we've got the Scottish tours, which is one thing, but we've got another English tour coming up as well this year, and 2027. So I think there's about 60-70 dates planned for that.
Just touring wise, never mind anything else.
The ships on top of that, and then there's other gigs, like corporate stuff. We do like light switch ons, like stuff up in Perth. There's like a
Royal Salute thing, big festivals and things.
Always these gigs come in, so we're trying to like actively cut back a little bit, but it hasn't seemed to happen yet. But it will eventually.
Going way back to when I first met you, and I used to talk to you about, what was it like to be on that show? What was it like? What were the judges like? But you were always very resistant to talk about anybody or kiss and tell. Is there any kiss and tell about the judges or anything like that?
What's funny is this. Who was
the bad one?
This thing, what I learned though, there was nobody that was bad. It was just it was a different time,
pantomime as well,
and a pantomime. It was television, and there's different rules and things that you can get away with now, mental health and all different things. But at the time, nobody was bad. They had created a show, and they would go, right, MacDonald Brothers, we're going to hammer them, right? Then they'll have every year, say it was a Jedward, or it would be Chico, or the year before. That's what they had at the time, and we fell into that role. But that's not saying it wasn't hard on us at the time, and the feelings that you get from that. But there was nobody that was bad. It was just but
I think that's easy to say looking back on it. You look back now, like 20 years older, that way, and you think if we'd have done it a lot different, you'd have treated it mentally a lot differently. But at the time, I think you particularly took it really hard.
I found it really hard.
It was just this constant bombardment, and you struggle to actually improve or perform because you're thinking, well, I'm just going to get hammered anyway this week. So that was difficult.
It made you even more nervous than you were. And for us, again, our background was in we were accordion and fiddle. We were a ceilidh band. We did gigs at bowling clubs, old folks nursing homes, and then we'd do the odd gig with my dad. His half-time bit, we'd do a bit of singing. Craig had just started singing, and I really was just doing harmonies, but I was definitely not confident at it. Our voices weren't developed or anything. But so when we got on the show, it was crazy that first of all we'd get on the show. It was like, we always look at it as like winning the lottery for us, because it was so... You won the lottery. The chances of us getting on that show were minuscule, and we did. But then when you're on the show, we needed a bit of support, because we'd never been on a television camera.
No confidence, really.
Nothing
at
all.
We
were just underprepared. And to be fair to a lot of the other acts that were on it, down south's a different ball game. Like, most people go to theatre schools, drama schools. They have all that now. Don't get me wrong, we do have that, but being from air and different things,
we didn't go down that road. We weren't like theatrical, if you like. We were just like a pub band, if you like. We were in the pubs gigging, and that's all you ever did.
They had a lot of experience, and they didn't have that self-conscious thing, so it was hard. And then all we needed was maybe a bit of positive, and we might have grown a bit better from that. But as Craig said, once you've been down that road and you're getting hammered from day one, it didn't help. It's hard to come out of that. But again, it was the best experience we ever had, as in basically giving us a kick in the backside to work on, do you want to do this or do you not, and we did. And credit to ourselves, after that we've worked like animals ever since. And it was funny because we actually met one of our pals, Ben Mills, who finished third just in the last cruise we were on. And out of our year, you had Leona Lewis, who's obviously, she's out in Vegas now doing her thing, she's massive. You had Ray Quinn, who's still doing bits and bobs, does the ships and stuff, but in general, us four from that year's is only people that are actually doing it to this day. And even years after, and a lot of folk just go back to their jobs and different things, because it is extremely difficult to keep going, because your management companies can just ditch you after a couple of years, different things, if you're not meeting their expectations. So, and that didn't happen to us, but we did go our separate ways, didn't we? And
we changed. We ended up going down the Scotland road for us. That was, we felt our strength's going to be back up here in Scotland, not staying in London and doing we had offers from like major record labels, but we had an independent label in Scotland, and our management actually advised us I would take the independent offer because they're going to be more committed to you. And to be fair, looking back on it,
100%,
they were right about that. You know, that way, if we'd done a deal with Sony, for example, it would have been dropped after the first album for sure. Whereas the independent, they end up releasing 4 albums like year on year for that, and we got a lot more of a longevity in that kind of career, if you like. So it's easy looking back and saying these things, but at the time it's so, and being young as well, we're only 19 and 20, it's like a lifetime ago, do you know that way? So it is hard going.
Do you think the choice of songs that you were singing helped get you to where you are?
Well, I think it's what we actually,
because they seem to have followed you about.
Well, some of them have stuck. I think the big argument we always had with Louis Walsh was that it was like he's obviously,
so there is an argument.
There was always.
And Louis was great. I mean, he's a bit obviously Westlife. That was his kind of. He goes, Westlife, look how successful they are, and they're still successful. They're selling 7-8 nights out to all these arenas still in like Ireland, and even 3 nights at the SECC or whatever. But I just feel that on the week, the first week was a slow song, second week was a slow song, third week was something like, God, I want to do something fast, because we've just felt it's, even when you're nervous, it exposes you. See a slow song with you can't just get out and get your energy out. You've just got to really sing. That's when your voice goes exactly.
Terrified.
We just argued every week with Louis just to say, can we not get something a bit more upbeat? And then it was right, to be fair. I think the voters were voting for the 2 young guys, the brothers, they're kind of getting a hard time for Simon Cowell. We can see that now, but at the time we just wanted to go out there and do something like upbeat. Like what we do now in the show is our shows now are very much like anthems, or like they'll be like Proclaimers, 500 Miles, all that stuff. That's kind of what we feel is our kind of strong point now, whereas on the X Factor we were kind of pushed down a ballad route. So it's a funny one. You look back on it that way, and also, that's the only regret with that.
For anyone that's ever seen us, especially recently, the last 5 years, when we do a show, especially look at Craig, we're not trying to be like the best vocalists. We can hold a tune, right? But we're multi-instrumentalists, do stuff, but we're entertainers. It's like the variety that we provide is what we do, and we couldn't do that on that show. So the first time when we come off the show, which was amazing, we went into all these arenas doing the big arena tour, and that's again when we came back to what the MacDonald Brothers did, which was Craig, the frontman singer, doing his thing, entertaining a crowd. Like most people, especially on a show like that, they don't entertain a crowd because they're recording artist type. They stand at the mic, they sound amazing, brilliant, like that's what it is. But we weren't that. But on that show, we weren't allowed to do that. You had to stand in your position, sing down that camera. Now the red light's on, look at that camera, and was completely different from what we do now. And it's like, it's great to be, obviously a long time has passed, but it's like even these shows we're doing in the theatres, it's non-stop from the beginning to the end. Energy, variety, entertaining a crowd. It's
that's our strong point for that's what we feel anyway is a strong point.
You do reach out and touch the crowd without a doubt.
Get them involved, Get them involved.
But this ability to be multi-instrumentalist. I mean, I actually never knew that about you at the very end.
That's a good point.
I never knew that.
Yep.
You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, wow.
And I think what you said, you in the X Factor, we had our violin, our guitars, all our stuff down in London with us, but there'd be weeks, so we met like Bjorn from ABBA, for example, and I had my violin, so we done Fernando, I think was the song Louis had picked for another slow song, right? But I thought, well, we could put the violin in that, at least I go like nice wee violin solo, done that. Bjorn loved it, he thought amazing, this is really good with the song,
very different.
And the next couple of days Simon Cowell would say, nah, it's a singing competition, it's not a instrumental thing. So they would cut it and we would just get going, right, put a mic in your hand, just sing it, that's it. So I think there's a lot of going on behind the scenes. I think they had a plan of like, I mean, Leona Lewis, if I look back on that, she should have won the show, and rightly so. She was an amazing talent. Like, that was who should have won the show that year. But I think they were very conscious that if we could interfere with that, they don't want us interfering, because the only two acts in that year that were not in the bottom two was Leona Lewis and us two. So like every other act had kind of lower votes, but we were consistently in the top couple of acts with these votes every single week. So I think obviously Simon Cowell's getting those votes back. I think it was kind of not hobbling you a little bit, but trying to make sure it didn't run away with just like we could win that show type thing. So we came fourth in the end. But
as you said, Ewan, like, if you were sitting at home and you'd seen that, you'd maybe have went,
Jeez,
hold on a minute, this is a bit different. But again, that's more a Britain's Got Talent type of show. So maybe we were on the wrong show at the time, because Britain's Got Talent wasn't out. But
didn't exist,
the thing is, again, we still feel we're very lucky to even get on a show in general.
100%.
So looking back on it, as Craig said, it's still, now you can look back and appreciate it,
but
and
it's
all
how
these
you
things,
develop, isn't it? Because I think it's like now, like at the time we always thought, because it is a singing show, you come off the back of that, you're like, we just want to do singing, like we'll do like the boy band type thing, and that was our kind of frame of our mind. But this record label up in Edinburgh, they were like, no, we need to get back to your roots, and right, Brian, you play the piano, the guitar, your penny whistles, like all the accordion, all the stuff that we used to play, and they started kind of feeding it in through the tour gigs. So we do like a little accordion and fiddle section, and the fans loved it, you know that way. There's like 1,000 people all standing up jigging about and all that stuff, and we never really occurred to us to go, well, you can do something different. Then you look at bands nowadays, like
now it's
Scary Vor and like Man Ran, all these trad bands that are really coming through now, like
Diesels
massive.
And all your stuff. It's a like, different generation now.
There's now a following for this trad music. So I think we had that at the beginning, but at the time it wasn't a cool thing to follow. You wanted to be the next Boyzone or next Westlife or something. That was always the route that you were kind of going down. So it just changes every
times.
Year, doesn't it? Changes all the time.
But your music has developed as you go along. But the thing I see about you all the time is it's these songs that you pick that seem to stretch generations. That they'll still be popular in 5 years, 10 years time.
Agree.
They're just great songs.
I totally agree.
And this is you seem to run along that track with them. It's quite amazing. And I'll tell you something else. I was in Spa this morning, right? And the girl was like, "What are you up to today, big wow?" I went, "I'm off to see the MacDonald Brothers."
Who's that?
Oh, can you get me their autograph?
That's funny.
See, young girl, you know, can you get me their autograph? You know, so I mean, yeah. I know the older audiences love you, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer. That it's going to be a packed gaiety.
Yeah, for sure.
But younger people love you as well.
It's true. You still get that. We find it quite strange because it is 20 years this year since we were on that show, and you're thinking like, there's kids. Well, there's people at 25, for example. They were a 5-year-old back then, but they still remember. It's the gigs. I mean, you say it is mostly, I would say, 40s to
65
60s,
plus.
65.
No, it's all the way.
It's like that age group, but you do sometimes get the daughters or the kids that get brought along to the gigs, and they end up coming to like repeat gigs. It's so weird. It's just a variety show. We always try to do variety, but
again, that's the music. Like, there's so many genres, so many different styles of music.
Like personally, we love rock music. Our thing to listen to is like our heavy metal. Do you know what I mean? We like Metallica. Like
the last gigs we went to was Metallica and Iron Maiden. Do you know what I mean?
But you're not going to play that at the gate, are you?
But again, music's something that everyone's got a genre that they like, and if people like what we do, then amazing. Do you know what I mean? We're not trying to do anything different, you know, or it's just we do what we love doing.
Everybody needs stuff to relax to as well. I remember, when I was, when I was doing my own nightclub DJing, and maybe some people say, "Can we get a lift home, big wow," and all that, take some of the troops home, and they would instantly, press the radio or put it in CDs, and it'd be classical music. What's this big wow? You're joking with me? What hip hop? I said, well, I don't always play hip hop.
100%.
Got to chill out sometimes.
I've got other things I was brought up with. You know what I mean? And it's just a different thing altogether.
A bit of Mozart and Room Red, is that what you're looking for?
Why not? You know what I mean? But it's just the way I was brought up with music. You know what I mean? My father was a violinist. He was a prodigy.
I didn't know that.
He won a scholarship in London and all that. So all my brothers were musicians. My other brother's an actor. So I come from that kind of thing, and I just love it. It's stayed with me. Not that I'm any good. But
you get the gift of the gab, though, ain't you? That's you got.
We've all got our strong points.
I don't know about the gift of the gab. I've not been able to get a word in edgeways.
Sorry, no, carry on. Sorry, it's your podcast. Sorry.
No, it's our podcast. But no, it's been great. When I was a young boy, you know, and I used to work in the Trongate in Glasgow in a shop called McMurtry's. This is when Shang-a-Lang was the thing. They were out, the boys were out, and we used to sell a thing called Tartan Texans, and I think you should bring them back.
Well,
I think you should bring back.
Have you got an old one we could try?
It was a guy in Centennial Square that made them up. He went up a wee stair and he had a wee factory, and he was making these white shirts, tartan pockets, maybe tartan epaulets, a wee bit of tartan round the half sleeve. And they weren't cheap, by the way.
I can imagine.
They were handmade for you.
It's
just how good this was. They were all handmade. So the company I was with, they started ripping them off and getting shady people making them, you know, and they just sold out. Unbelievable, you know what I mean? Tartan Texas was that, and Levi Stay Press.
Right, okay, again, it's before our time, slightly, but we did see, we've seen all the kind of, again, top of the Bay City Rollers. It was huge, you know what I mean? It was absolutely massive. It is, it's the tartan. We still do a bit of tartan in the shows as well, to be fair, because it goes back to that, doesn't it? Like,
it's fabulous.
You can't not have any tartan in a Scottish show.
It. You got to do it, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But these songs have travel. Even when you do Deacon Blue.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've got all the really good, you know, tunes that have got longevity.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even when the kind of concept of the show was sort of a few years ago, but when you start researching it, you start going, right, we're going to do a Scottish show. It's going to be a mixture of Celtic, folk, pop, rock, everything. What's out there. So then the modern way of doing it now is, popularity wise, you obviously still know the big songs from back in the day, but you go onto Spotify and see how many streams has it had. Because that's like obviously a lot of stuff come on, but that's how we had the big list, a gauge of how most popular
a song is.
And then obviously we had every band that we thought we would like to do and different things, and then that's the way we went about it. But even the show's changed again from last year to this year. We're putting in like new stuff from like Texas, and there's more Amy MacDonald, there's a bit more what do you call it? We've actually dropped Paul and Natini.
We have, unfortunately, And
I know. That's shocking.
I know, it's just time.
But the thing is, that's it, because as Craig said, you've got 50 minutes in a theatre to get your first half done and your second half done in 50 minutes, and there's so much material. So even if you find a lot of the medleys, a lot of the songs we're doing, verses are cut, choruses are out, and it's all basically arranged for this 50-minute set that flies by
for a show, and
it's honestly like it's a big Scottish sing-along. Every song everybody knows, everybody can sing along to, clap their hands, and that's what we encourage. We're not there to we're trying to enjoy it, the crowd's enjoying it, we're all getting it together, and it's brilliant. It's really, really good to look forward to it.
Who decides?
It's a collaboration. Like, there's three of us, so Ed as well, like EHP. We sat down and we kind of, like, we probably done like the list of stuff, as Brian said, got all these songs, and we kind of sit down and go, well, that's that. And then Paul and Natini, for example, like, Ed really liked that song, but between the three of us we decided, but we've got to cut something, do you know that way? So you kind of go through that, and we don't want to change the show entirely, because the show it works well, and people haven't seen it. For example, we go to Aberdeen, it's one of the first gigs, but there's an extra 150 people there who weren't there last year, so you're like, right, well, they've not seen the show, do you know that way? It's like new to them. Probably a lot of the people are maybe like about 50% are coming back from last year kind of thing, but you're trying to keep the show as the concept, but just make little tweaks to make it better. That's the way we look. If it doesn't make it better, we don't change it. If it does make it better, then we'll look at it and see like how can we, and then we might even look at it after this year and go, do you know what, like there's a Nathan Evans thing, for example, because Nathan Evans is massive at the moment, right? So we kind of did a wee medley last year. We thought, do you know what, it's good to get him in there, but that's maybe a bit long for that medley, so we end up cutting some of the songs out of that,
change that,
making room for new stuff as well. So it's trial and error, isn't it? You get a feel on the stage as what's going down well, what's maybe a little bit too long, what's too short. Like the Waterboys, we always thought the Waterboys are like not that big a band to the younger generation, but when we started playing the songs, you're like, geez, people want more of this song, so I've extended that medley, for example, made it a little bit longer with extra kind of verses and stuff. So we things like that, you've got to adapt all the time.
But it's hard, as we said, because you get 50 minutes to get it all in.
So if you extend something, you've got to cut something else. So it's
difficult.
But that makes it good. It makes it. We feel it's very exciting from the beginning to the end of the show. There's not a lull at all. There's a couple of slow songs where you can bring it down a little touch, but
not many.
No, that's it. It's just full on. We're knackered by the end of the shows, aren't we? Especially like a four night run. You're just like end of that weekend. You're like, right, we've got a 3-day break now, then we go again the next weekend type things. It's busy. It's good, but it's good energy show. It's what it's all about for us.
So how do you relax? I've never seen you relax.
He sees hot tub every morning. He sits with a double. I've got a 4-year-old, so I never relax, right?
Yeah,
but sits
for me,
every
like
morning.
my favourite hobby is fly fishing.
Yeah.
So I will go whenever I can, and just away to a loch where nobody's there, and I just fish. And that is, I don't think about anything at all apart from where am I catching a fish. That's it. And I just spend the whole day or walking miles, and that's my switch off, and I need it. That's the one thing that I do, because we're very guilty of if you're off Monday to Wednesday, see if something comes in, it doesn't matter, it could be anything. It could be like something that you've got to fix in your house, to a wee studio job or something else, and you won't just go, I'm just going to sit back and I've worked really hard for the last 6 months, I'm just going to sit back. You don't. So then before you know it, your year's gone again, you're run again, and it's just that's what I'm trying to do this year, is trying to say no a lot more, and try and put yourself first, because I can't believe I'm turning 40 this year, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how long can we keep doing the level of work, the pace it's going? That's not saying you still can't be successful doing what you're doing, but just not take as much.
I think it becomes a stage at the very beginning in your 20s. You've got so much energy as well, and you're so enthusiastic about do everything and anything, and you can travel the world. You can sit on. We used to do over 100 flights a year, just jumping. You're like, didn't really affect you that much, and now you're like, oh god, we've got to fly to, like, say it's the Caribbean. It sounds amazing, right? But when that comes in, we're like, oh, it's a 7-8 hour flight. You're actually dreading it when it comes in.
Can I just go for Southampton or something?
I know, but you just become like, right, we need to limit that kind of side of things, and just try and just do exactly what you enjoy. And for the moment, the touring's what we're enthusiastic about again. It's kind of giving us a new kind of lease of life almost, isn't it?
It's a new challenge again.
And the creative side of it, because the cruise show, yes, that changes as well, because we add in a new song here and there, but it's kind of stayed the same for about 15 years when we've been on the ships, whereas this now is like a complete new project, you know, that way. So you're going and doing a bit of that, and then you start to miss the cruise ships a little bit again, so you start enjoying them again. So you're like, right, I've got a week away, as I say, out in the Caribbean or something like that. You actually we'll need to sit down and try and enjoy this, and not sit at your laptop while the sun's burning away outside. It's just we're trying to get to a balance in life now, so that's the challenge.
Here's something I've always wondered about when you're over there and you're sort of showing wee bits up on Facebook, oh, here we are, we're on our cruise, all the well and that. Do you actually ever pay for anything?
No.
Is everything free?
It depends, because like all this year we're basically working Silver Sea. Now they're like 6-star cruising, but they're all inclusive, so you don't. But if we're on, say you're on P&O, we need to buy a pint. You get a
50% discount in your pint, but it's still
all your food. All your food is covered. And all these other lines, like your Seabourns, your Silver Seas, and everything's covered.
But because we're doing less cruising, we're not doing any P&O or anything like that. It's all the 6-star stuff. So we've got like, I think maybe 15 or 16 Silver Sea in for 2027,
which is too much, because we're meant to take 12.
Well, that's it, because now we've kind of filled up the diary as much as we're willing to take cruises. So you go away, and our challenge is to try and the challenge is we're trying to do dry January there, and we're on a cruise ship that's all inclusive.
Well,
so you're just
I'm still doing it. I'm 23rd and I'm still fine.
Well, I broke for a couple of days, but I'll go back on it this week. But it's like you do get spoiled. Everything's provided for you. It's like it's all the best of food and stuff, but you do kind of. It's funny to say, you do get a bit complacent. You just want to be home, you know, that way. If you're going back to back on ships, like you'll only ever do 1 week maximum on a ship, so you do 7 days. Within that 7 days, you're doing 2 45-minute spots, and that's it. You're not doing every night of the cruise. You only go on, like, say it's a Monday, right boys, we're doing 45 minutes in the theatre, so you do 45 minutes, then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you're off. Saturday you'll do another 45 minutes with a different show, another couple of days off, and then you fly to the next ship or fly back home. So there's a lot of free time on the ships. You're not doing anything else. So it's trying to. It sounds amazing, and it is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but you just get a bit. You want to be home. You want to see your family. You want to see your friends and stuff that you miss out on. You just feel like.
But again, that happens after 20 years. You know what I mean? Like
different
it's
frame
just,
of mind from when you were younger.
So when you are home, you've also got other things you get up to. You've got recording studios.
Yeah.
So that all came about was COVID. Again, sitting at home doing nothing, thinking, am I going to ever work again? And my mate Fraser Purdy, is a composer. He's got his studio up in Glasgow, and he does stuff for David Attenborough and all these big kind of, what would you call it? Nature documentaries. He does tons of different stuff, but mainly kind of nature documentaries. And there's a wee project come up with him, and he goes, do you fancy getting involved in this? I'm like, right, fine, because it was a Scottish show, it was nature documentary, but so I was ideal for the Celtic music, accordion and fiddles and the whistles and all that. So we did that, and then I'd basically this. It's a big, huge, empty garage, wasn't it? It's massive. It was never had anything in it, and before COVID, I'd converted it, and it was into like another kind of lounge kind of thing. So then it was ended up being our practice rehearsal room and stuff, and ended up getting all the studio stuff back out, setting it up as proper studio, and then I kept it going since then. And ever since then, there's been different artists coming in. Been doing a lot of theatre shows as well down for London companies and stuff like that.
Amazing.
And again, it is amazing, but I need to be careful because you end up filling your gaps of not MacDonald Brothers stuff with studio stuff, and I still do enjoy it, but when can I go fishing when I'm and the studios type of stuff is the stuff that you can start at 5 o'clock till 5 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? If you're in a project, and it's one of those things. But I still do enjoy it, and believe it or not, next on my list we've got another album that we want to do, but it's been that busy. We're meant to actually have done it. Meant to have done it for our 20th anniversary, but physically haven't got the hours in the day to do it, and it's like it's crazy. That's how busy we end up being.
What I noticed from outside, once you've got the more that people come on board with the studio, what I've noticed from the outside view is they come back to us. So Brian does a panto for like a company in London, for example. They'll be on next year, the next year another company comes on and going, well, we've heard you doing that one, and it's hard to say no to stuff, but just like you say, you could work 24 hours a day, and it's just trying to say no. It's not easy to say no, not in this business where you're you want to be accommodating, you want to help, and you want to
and also if you've got drive, you've got drive. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I've still got the drive for it, but it's just again we're trying to find this balance, and it's been a long time, and the balance is definitely not near where it should be. It's so hard, honestly, because especially you build something up, your natural thing is to always grow, but then it's at the detriment to your own personal life.
Stuff. Do you think the fact that you're multi-instrumentalist makes a big difference to when you're doing recordings? Because as we know, session musicians are expensive.
100%.
Whereas you can pick up a guitar, you can do
100%.
piano,
I can phone Craig. Can you come and put some fiddle on for this? Honestly, it's a massive thing. Because even if you look at
cost down for your artists,
it keeps cost down, but it also keeps cost down for a company. They will probably book me because they know if they had to get a studio that if I was just acting as a producer, then you can go to any studio, get any producer, he'll have his cost, his fee, but then he'll go, well, I can't play the guitar, so it'll be £150 for a session musician to come in and do a 40-minute session or something, and then we need a bass player, boom boom boom, we need a fiddle player, and then that cost all gets added on. So obviously we budget it to what works for me, but again, it is a massive thing being able to do these wee bits and bobs. But no, it's still enjoyable, and it helps me as a musician, because there'll be things that if you're playing Shang-a-Lang, there's maybe 3 or 4 chords, but then if you're doing something that's musical theatre based, it's very tricky, and it's like it gets me practicing. So it's
like
good.
Paid to practice, isn't it? Really,
pretty much. It's good, but I still enjoy it, and I'm into all the technical stuff as well, so it's good fun.
Has it been a learning curve for you having the recording studio?
It's been hard dealing with the public. I don't actually have it open to the public anymore, and I did a few albums with different people, and there's one that won a wee award and a Celtic Music Radio Award and different things, and I did enjoy it, but what I found was it's just maybe the creative and artistic thing as well. Everybody's got their own vision, and I'm at that stage that I've got no time to. If that's all I did, fair enough. I've got the time to do it, but I was trying to get a job done as efficiently as possible because I've got no time in my own life. So I just ended up, I need to step away from this, finish the projects, and then because all the people would come back wanting another album, different things, but I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. It's stressing me. It's becoming stressful. It's becoming a job.
You're too involved in the creative side.
And like you're either that frame of mind or you're not. I'd go to my bed and then go, I think I could need to look at that mix again tomorrow because maybe it could be better, and it's a thing that's in your head, but even though the client's maybe 100% happy with it, you're not. It's like, honestly, it's hard. It's just everybody's different types of people, but I struggle with that. A job's never finished. It could always be perfected more, which isn't good.
So where are we off to next? So the show's coming on.
We're touring. It's the next 2 months. We're touring.
Are you actually finished all your rehearsals?
No. We start them Monday,
we are
Tuesday.
finished, yeah, but the full collaboration with EHP and checking all the video screens, the video footage, the dancers, we're all moving in the right places when we should. That's not, but it's no bother. Everybody's done their own rehearsing. We come together for 2 days.
The dancers are rehearsing just now their side of things. We rehearse ours, and then Monday, Tuesday we come together. Those 2 days are the final rehearsals, and
tech
then
runs, and
we got a day off Wednesday. Thursday we start up in Nairn. So Thursday and Friday we're in Aberdeen. Saturday Dundee, and then we'll come back down the road after that. We've got a couple of radio interviews. Kind of while we're up that way, because we don't get up there very often. It's we do all the. You do forget that it's not just the gigs; it's all the kind of promotion round about it and stuff. It's that schedule that gets busy, and then we'll take the kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then we're actually just going up to, is it Livingston the week after? But there's two gigs in the one day. So this is what I'm saying, every venue's different. So Livingston, never done it before, the first time doing it this year. They sold out their tickets pretty much like 2 months ago, and they said, well, do you want to put a matinee on? So we're going to do a matinee during the day, but in hindsight we should probably just have done 2 nights at Livingston, done 2 separate nights. So we'll do the 2 gigs in the one day. Great, like it's good to know that next year you can go back to Livingston, but that's going to sell well. Like Aberdeen, as I said, Dundee, we done them last year, but they're all adding like 100 tickets, 150 tickets to what they did last year. So seeing it building is promising, because we're like, well, this could sustain, do you know that way? And it's like, it's finding the venues that you can just say, well, we'll take 20 venues in Scotland that we can revisit and not take on too much, because again, just what Brian talked about, you've only got so many hours in the day that we can actually physically do it. And if you want to visit these venues once a year, or even every 18 months, there's still not that much time to get round the Scottish venues. Never mind, you go down to England as well. England's 10 times the size of Scotland as far as population's concerned, so every city's got a theatre, you know, that way. So
our highlights, obviously, because we're Ayrshire, is obviously the Gatie's
phenomenal.
The Gatie's the big one for us, which is the 13th and 14th. But then we're also going to Barfields and Largs, which we did last year, which was brilliant. And again, every venue's different, but we feel there's growth in Largs. And we had the crowd were great, and we had a great time. So we're going back there, but also Centre Stage in Kilmarnock.
It's the first time, so Kilmarnock's we haven't done Kilmarnock for years and years. I don't think we've ever done Kilmarnock, have we?
We did what's the venue in Kilmarnock that it's now shut now, but it's getting
Palace.
The
Palace. We did the Palace.
Done the Palace,
that's
but
right.
Again, that's huge. We couldn't do the Palace now, but we've done that. But again,
we're trying to start again, like maybe the 300. Well, 300 seats is probably good for a lot of the smaller venues. Some of the bigger ones in the tours maybe 600. But any more than that at the moment, we just feel, let's just start small again. If we can sell 300 seats in like Kilmarnock, for example, phenomenal. We can put a second night on, or we can do a matinee or whatever. But to start doing like the big venues again, it's a bit daunting for us, having not done it for so many years. So I think we just start selling out these venues, and then we'll look at it from there. But Kilmarnock will be great. I think that's in September, so Largs and
September as well.
Kilmarnock's in September, so they're coming up in the following, like later in the year.
But the gate is special.
You know,
it's like everybody always. It's even funny. I was at the post office yesterday, and I can't remember the lady's name that works in there, but basically she's like, I can't wait to come and see you at the Gatey. And you get that all the time because you're in here. And it's like, what night you coming? She's like, coming the Valentine's on the 14th. I'm like, oh, brilliant, and we'll give you a shout out and different things. But you wouldn't believe the amount of people that do come like that. There's like
what
800 tickets in 2 nights.
BCS is 20 years since we did the X Factor, and I still get blown away that like, about 1,000 people are coming to see you, even though it's your hometown. It's like they're still spending money to actually physically come and watch your show, and it's like 20 years after a show like that, I find it amazing that people still get off their backside and come and watch the show.
You've not really changed.
I don't think so.
No, you're still the MacDonald. You're very fit looking as well. You know, you
don't feel it, Ewan.
I'm actually aggravated my back there. I pulled it about 2 days ago. Honestly, it's like painkillers makes you look good.
I know.
Funny.
An ergonomic pillow, that's the key for me on my neck. So,
I have noticed you don't join in with the dancers.
No, we do not.
No.
My heart rate goes too high for
Two
that.
club feet, I think. Not good.
No, we feel we want to develop every year, and I think we do. I mean, we don't maybe see it so much, but even our mum and dad will come and see us and go, "Oh, you're so much more confident with this or that or something." You're developing every single year, but I think because the time goes by, you just don't notice it yourself. Mm-hmm. But if I watch a video 10 years ago and a video now, you can see it then. You can see the different way that you're more natural. I would say that's the biggest thing, is more natural dealing with an audience, whereas 10, 15 years ago you were always a little bit, it's still a show, if you like, whereas now people like talking to each other. It's kind of, you've got the confidence to just have a conversation with an audience, whereas before you had to know what you're going to say.
Well, you do. I'm still the same.
He still hates it.
I'll hide behind my guitar, thank you very much.
He's definitely a musician, but it's just development. That's what I see. But I think the fact that people will come back, as I say, like that Gatei's sold about 1,000 tickets, and it's like unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It's for us, and we could probably put a third night on at the Gatei, but we just feel that you're still nervous that you don't want to not sell out those gigs, you know, that way. I mean, there is, don't get me wrong, there's still the upper balcony, there's still about 20 tickets left. Exactly. So if anybody does want to come along, there is still tickets there, but you just confidently know you're going to sell those 2 nights at the Gatei. Put on a third one, you're like, well, will we sell a third one? If it's half full, you'd be gutted, you know, that way. So you
also want to, you're trying to create that atmosphere for the people that are going as well, because you want it to be full if you can, like, because if we made that decision, if it was half empty, it's like, well, you don't get the same buzz. So it's like, you better keep it to 2.
Hence why we said you're better doing a 300 seater that's packed out than a 600 seater that's got 400 people in it. And you're like, well, there's 200 empty seats sitting there. So, and don't get me wrong, that this tour as well, it's like, we are doing a lot of these venues for the first time. So like Aberdeen last year, I'd say we had about, well, we half sold the venue, and there was half the seats were empty. But this year we've only got like 40 tickets left. Do you know what I mean? And then Dundee's the same. We had to move it to a bigger venue in Dundee, and it's just sold double the tickets this year. So what we're excited about is people are coming to see the show, they're enjoying it, they're coming back, and they're telling their friends and all that stuff, and it's kind of grown that way. So that's.
But as you said, and I think the main reason for that is as well, if people remember us from the X Factor, we're very much two different. It's so different acts now. But as what you said, you didn't have a clue what we played or anything. But sometimes people they'll go, oh, we'll just go along and we'll see what it's like, and then you do get a lot of response. Go, oh my God, I didn't realise you did.
It's a shock factor,
and it is. And then
it's not just the X Factor.
So I think that's
so different.
It's one of those things. It's like you're talking about growth. That's us. That's kind of, we've always done that, but it's hard to get that to a person that's maybe never seen you before, and they've maybe got a kind of a general judgment of what you did then, and that's in the past, but they don't know what you do now. But so I think word goes around and it's spreading, and we're just happy to be back out there. You know, it's
you're so happy to do it 20 years on. That's
it shows as well that you can tell, but it shows with the audience as well, because you never ignore anybody. I've seen you talk to everybody.
We do.
You know, there's people you don't sort of say, oh, I'm too busy.
You can't help it. You kind of just that way.
Engage.
You're either that
everybody.
way or you're not. You're right. You're right.
So you're just two nice guys that are very grounded.
You have to say that because we're sitting here, you know.
But you're so grounded, and people just enjoy what you do because you have tweaked it. You've moved with the times as well.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and there's no doubt about it. The talent's there. When they see this multi-instrumentalist coming on stage, you know what I mean? People are, wow, they do that as well?
Yeah, now listen,
really?
I know.
It's variety, as we say. That's always what we're strong on, is variety. So it's there is something for everyone. I know that's a cliche. But
I mean, I've told so many people, you know, when I was doing interviews with you back in the day and going to see your shows and all that, I actually have to explain to them. They say, "Oh, I've never seen them live," and I say, "Oh, you should go and see them."
That's good.
This is the multi-instrumentalist. What's that?
You know,
literally they can play anything. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we try. Smoke and mirrors, you know.
They can't sing, but
you can play it, isn't it? No, it's definitely a strong point. It's just trying to change. Every song's different. It's not, you're not singing like, say it's like, I don't know, Shang-a-Lang, then you're not just singing like Young at Heart, Love Is All Around. You're doing something different. You're maybe adding a Celtic element to some of these songs that folk don't expect. That's the challenge for us, is to make it like, I love that version of that song. It's not the usual, you know.
And then you always do the devil came down.
Everybody loves that, man. Honestly, it's
it's
a funny story. You'll see what Ayrshire Daily News you, but one of my best mates from school, he's a wrestler, so he's the Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, we did a thing of him. Yeah,
I was talking to him, like I still talk to him all the time, but that's his favourite song. Devil Went Down to Georgia. Every time I've got other people who go to the show and someone will send him a video of that, he goes, "Oh, I just absolutely love that, man." So it's one of the things that always reminds me of him, because he's still Scottish, but he's got an American accent now. Do you know what I mean? So it's that's a memory. I tie that in with him as well. Devil Went Down to Georgia. He absolutely loves it. Another Ayrshire guy who again has done so well. He's WWE champion.
Amazing.
Who'd have thought that coming for a wee part of Ayr? Do you know what I mean? It's unreal. Like,
but that's what it's all about. It's celebrating Ayrshire, isn't it?
I totally agree. And so everyone's so keen to be negative about people. So someone tries to do something nowadays on social media. I mean, we still get the negative comments. Don't get me wrong. We still see them, but you're just like, do you know what? See people that are trying to do something, and he's a good example. Like a wrestler, if you like. Who the hell's into wrestling from Ayrshire? Do you know what I mean? But you go to the Hydro and it's stacked out. Do you know what I mean? It's like 15,000 people there, all chanting Drew McIntyre. And I thought, do you know what? For a guy, I was going to say a wee guy for Ayr. He's not a wee guy, 6'8",
massive,
but it's for a guy for Ayr who just started off at the same school as us, just played the same kind of stuff, played your PlayStation games together, like amazing. So you've got to celebrate. Like Ayrshire's got a lot of talent, you know, that way. And obviously we go back to the Ayrshire lads like Jai McDowell. Jai's doing really well for himself as well, and he's just another phenomenal talent. And Jeremy Levy, all these guys,
lovely guys,
do you know what I mean?
Nice guys as well. So not trying to do anything crazy.
They're just trying to like promote Ayrshire and Scotland in a wider extent. And when we travel overseas, it's amazing how many nationalities love the Scots, you know, that way. They just love everything about the Scottish accent, the kind of the Celtic music, all that stuff. And Scotland's got a great kind of reputation in the world stage, you know, that way. So that's why we've done so well at it, I think, as well, and internationally. It's just it's a great country to come from. Yeah, we go over to Malaga at Christmas time, and you know, there's obviously it's majority of Spanish. But see, when they know you're Scottish, they'll stand and dance with you. That's amazing. they'll just open up. Oh, you're alright, you're Scottish. It's funny, isn't it? Especially when you wear that kilt in Malaga. Tartan scarf. No, but listen, guys, it's been really nice talking. You too. No, thank you. Great getting under these conditions, because normally I don't get to really get in depth. It's a quick couple of minutes, isn't it? You're always under pressure. Listen, thanks for having us. I know we know it's the first one, but thanks for inviting us up, and we'll catch you again on this at some point. Can we just remind everyone when it kicks off at the Gaiety? Yes, so Gaiety's the 13th and the 14th of February. That's 2 nights at the Gaiety. As I said, there is still a handful of tickets up the top, and I've no idea the dates for September's September's Largs. We'll get it up. We'll put up all the dates. That'd be great if you know what you're doing. You know, you get all that stuff. But it's honestly, like, Largs is probably the one that I'm most excited about, because it's got room to grow. Do you know that way? Like last year, it was one of those ones you go to and there's still 100 seats there that could still be filled. So that's what will be interesting. It's funny you should say that, because my mother was born in Largs. Yeah, in Nelson Street. But I've always gone to Largs as a wee boy. We did the same. But over the last 2 or 3 years, I think we've got a bit closer to the Barfields as far as helping to promote them. Good. You know, on Ayrshire Daily News and Go Ayrshire, you know, you now see there's somewhere else, and it's good for us. I don't want everyone to think that we're just ignoring Largs. We're not. You know what I mean? Yeah. You see, all these things. It's a drive from Ayr. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone just assumes you do the Ayr gig, folk for Largs will come there, but that's not necessarily the case. You think it's just it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes down the road. So we try and get out to Kilmarnock an extension as well, because we just assume again Kilmarnock's just up the A77 or M77 now, and it's like you want to go to these places so that people get a chance. Not everyone can travel. You forget about that. There's a lot of folk come to these shows and the buses or whatever. It's like so we try. But that's our kind of goal, is to try. You don't want them too close together, but like Ayr, Kilmarnock and Largs are all far enough apart that you'll have new audiences in each of those venues that are, don't get me wrong, there will be a crossover, but some people will come back to each gig, but that's why we do them. Like Largs, I'm really looking forward to Barfields. It's a good gig last year, wasn't it? It was just a great atmosphere, and that was the one that we felt, do you know what, this will be really good next year, because the staff are raving about it. They're like, oh my God, can't wait till you come back next year and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. So that's all done through Ed Holloway? All HB. Right, here's what we'll do.
I'll get this. So we'll give a wee competition there, Daily News.
Brilliant.
Give away a couple of tickets.
Oh, fantastic. That'd be good. Yeah, talk to Ed. He's your man for that. He's the man. Definitely.
Great. But listen, guys, it's been great catching up with you.
You too.
And the next time we'll have coffee and not water.
Sounds good.
Well, I've got whiskey in my glass when you're drinking, lad. Fine.